Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Hoovy186, back again with another video. And this video is going to be about my thoughts on a little subject that's been going around YouTube about whether or not certain games people are too old to play and stuff like that. I've seen tons of people's videos on this topic on both sides, and I'm just here to put in my thoughts. And one of the things I've noticed, like the central theme around that topic about the games, seems to be centered around Nintendo and whether or not their brand and their games are geared solely towards kids or primarily towards kids, whatever you want to call it. And so here's me talking about it. Do I think that Nintendo in general is kiddie? No, I don't. Now, I will say this, and any Nintendo fanboy out there who watches this video has to at least admit that what I'm about to say is true. Nintendo, more so than Sony and Microsoft, they cater to little kids. You know what I mean? And it makes sense for them to do so because, for one, the handheld market. Obviously, Nintendo is on top when it comes to handheld gaming, and a lot of people who game on those handhelds are kids, so obviously they're going to cater to them. And obviously, when you look at the Wii friend codes and the 3DS friend codes, I believe they have them. One of the reasons why those exist is because they want to protect kids from online abuses, from online being abused online, with cussing and all that other shit. Even though, I mean, frankly, if you've been on PSN and especially on Xbox Live, the people who are doing most of the abuse online and doing all the shit talking online are kids. You know what I mean? Like, it's them. But that's besides the point. But anyway, any Nintendo fanboy can at least admit that Nintendo, more so than the other two, Sony and Microsoft, they do try to cater more to kids, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. And it doesn't make them kiddie. At least I don't think they do, because obviously when you look at the main Mario games, they take skill to play and pass those games. Obviously, whether it takes more or less than any other game, that's totally up to you. I'm not going to get into that, but So I mean, like, overall, do I think Nintendo's kiddie? No, I don't. However, the perception that people have out there that Nintendo's kiddie is solely Nintendo's fault. Is entirely Nintendo's fault. Because in the Wii, it's because of the Wii. You know what I mean? And the Wii and Nintendo in general, because this generation, they've done far more to cater to everyone else than the hardcore audience. To everyone else, like with the motion-based gaming, anybody can do that crap. Anybody. If you're not physically disabled in any way, shape, or form, anybody can do that. So obviously people are going to see that and say, oh, well, that's for kids, I don't want to do that shit. Obviously. But when Nintendo had the chance to really, obviously motion gaming is a fad, obviously. Once that fad ended, it was Nintendo's opportunity to put in the real meat of what the system was about, and that's the games. And instead of doing that, Nintendo focused most of their efforts into bringing out all these crappy shovelware to put on the system, because they thought they would sell more than actually porting games from Japan over here. You know what I'm saying? The game that would have been ported over to Japan, aka actual games, actual real games. But they wanted those shitty shovelware games, and the system is just cluttered with them, completely cluttered with them. And Nintendo themselves, I mean, it's easy to come out with a Mario game, a Zelda game, a Metroid game, and be straight with that. But when it came time for them to make a game that was more at least adult oriented, and I'm not talking about games that have cursing, boobs, and all that other shit. I'm not talking about games like that. I'm talking about games that have more adult content to it. A game where you know, where older kids can get in and really like the game. When you have a game that is centered around basically more mature content. And the perfect example of this is Uncharted. Uncharted is not M-rated. It's rated T for teen. But it still has that type of, of adult content in it to where people can immerse themselves into that experience. And Nintendo games, in my opinion, have lost that. You know what I mean? Because their games don't evolve. And I think that's, in my opinion, I think that's where the perception comes from, is the fact that Nintendo games, by and large, do not evolve. They don't evolve. They've been the same games you've been playing since the N64. I've said this in some of my other videos, and it's true. Their games do not evolve whatsoever. When you have people, when everyone who's saying that Nintendo Kiddie, when they grow up and they play games like Metal Gear Solid, like Grand Theft Auto, when they play games like Halo and God of War and Gears of War, when they play those games, they're like, oh, these are all different experiences. They drop into a new world. Obviously, a lot of the gameplay may be the same, obviously. And maybe, a lot of similarity between different types of games. But ultimately, they're always put into a new world with a new character and new experiences. And then when they go back and play a Nintendo game, they're basically doing the same thing they've been doing for 25 years. Basically the same story, same objective. You know what I mean? Like, they feel like they're doing the same thing they've been doing forever. You know what I mean? Like, so do I think Nintendo in general is kiddie? No, I don't. But do I think that the perception of them being kiddie is entirely on Nintendo? That's on them. You know what I mean? Because me, I see Nintendo kind of like I see Disney. I can watch a Disney movie and not feel ashamed to watch it. You know what I mean? Because obviously Disney movies are catered primarily to kids, which is fine. But I can watch that movie and not feel ashamed by it, not be like ashamed, oh, I'm watching a kids movie. No. I can watch a Disney movie just like I can play Nintendo games. But the problem with Nintendo games is that their games do not evolve whatsoever. They don't evolve. They're basically, it's the same thing I've been playing since forever. And I think a lot of gamers feel that way. If they're playing these new games, they're playing newer games, they're playing with all these new experiences and stuff like that, and then they go back and play a Mario or a Zelda, it's basically, they're probably going to feel the same way I feel. They're playing the same games they've been playing forever. The same type of games they've been playing forever. So, that's just my opinion. For anyone who's watching this, tell me what you think. But anyway, this is Hoovy186. I'm out.